match things or head. Well, yeah, it's the same fabric, more or less.
Just imagine the whole thing going down as those glamour photos that you take in Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would be quite funny. Is this actually doing something? Yes. Okay. Good. Let's go over here and make sure it's doing something. It is. Great. See if that shows up in a minute. There it is. Great. Wunderbar. And this is a limited run offer because I'm not going to give away 12 scrunchies or headbands.
Oh no.
So I'm going to do like half a dozen at most people. So, and I've already asked somebody that might be interested in doing a one with her friend and whatever else, which I didn't even think about. That's like a duh idea, which you two would fit into the same category of like having more than one person show up at the same time. That's friggin' brilliant. Why am I stupid and that I didn't even think that was a good idea? Yeah, exactly. Smart. I am. Okay. What numbers did we do? 8 through 30. Yeah, that sounds right. Number 8 is negative 88 thirds. Number 10 is negative 3.2. Number 12 is negative 48. Number 14 is 72. Number 16a is t equals 5 md. And number 16 is something along the lines of, for 4 household members, 140 hours. Excuse me. 18 is negative 56 thirds. 20 is 2.1. 22 is d equals 50t. 22b is 60 hours. 24 is negative 6. 26 is inverse. Excuse me. I should have done 25 through 27. Oh well, it's fine. 28 is 57. 30 is negative 105. What questions do we have on those, kiddos? What? 26. 26. So, let's do 26. 8, 2, 4, 4, negative 2, negative 8, negative 8, negative 2. That is a 2, apparently.
26?
We are doing 26. So, we can take a look at this. Oh, just kidding. This is all, okay. So, time out. Yeah. We are asked, determine whether this is direct, inverse, or neither. There's a problem when I'm looking at these numbers. What is the problem when I'm looking at these numbers? Oh, no, just kidding. 8, 4, negative. Wait, did I copy something down wrong?
No, you just read your own thing wrong. It's 8, 2.
No, I was 4, no, I was reading down the X column. 2, 4. Are they, that's 4, and then that's, oh, it's, okay, they're not, okay, great. I was so, well, I still don't understand that last one. What is happening? Why is it, the answer was inverse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is going up. This is going down. This is going up. And this is going down. This is going up. Oh, yeah, I was right. Oh, yeah, so it's all, yeah, okay, we have a problem. We do have a problem. I was right. No, because that's all going down.
What's the problem? What's the matter, Sean?
What's the matter, you?
Can we put the graph in order? Or no?
It is in order.
This is my mom. She was kind enough to get me my bag.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you, Mom.
What do we have to multiply times 8 to get it to be a 2? Yeah, what fraction? Fourth. What do I have to multiply times 4 to get it to be a 4?
1.
What do I have to multiply times negative 2 to get it to be a negative 8? 4. What do I have to multiply times negative 8 to get negative 2? I think they labeled these wrong because this is the neither one.
Really?
Minus what? 12? 4 plus 8 is 12.
Shouldn't we put it into the inverse function?
Plus
and
6.
try it?
Shouldn't we put it into the inverse function and try it, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Shouldn't we go, why? Yeah, sure, we should put, that's fine. That's a fine way to look at it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being neither, right?
Was it y of x or x of y?
So do we just put it in 2 parts from like, so I would put in the 2 and the 8?
Yeah, well, and we would do it to see whether k comes out the same every time, right?
And
Right.
if it doesn't come out the same?
So we put an 8 in there.
Wait, why are we doing y of x? Y is the inverse of x.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
It's a
Y equals kx, yeah? Determine whether each relation shows a direct or inverse variation or neither, is what it says.
Couldn't we try
No.
x of y? X
No.
is the inverse of y. Why not? Why can't we do that?
Because that's, well, if it's that, then this is an even more stupid problem. Let's pretend like Malcolm's right for a minute and see whether it's an inverse relation. Kx is inversely proportional to y. Sure, why not? We put a 2 in here. So k equals 16 in that instance. We put a 4 here and a 4 here. It's k equals 16, so far it works. We put a -2 in here. Well, we should be able to go, it should work either way. Anyway, I'll get to that thought in a second. Equals k over -8, that equals 16. That also equals 16. So in that direction, it definitely works. Does it work the other way? Because it should work the other way. Because if we rearrange this and we end up with x, y equals k, or x, y equals k the other way, yeah, so we should be able, oh yeah, that's an even easier way to think about it. Look at that. Okay, let me teach what I just thought. How does that sound? Does that sound good?
Yeah, it does work the other way.
Yeah, it should. It should work either or. Like if one is inverse of the other, then it's like it's always going to be that way. Anyway, so let me teach what I mumbled. Okay, how's that sound? Sound good?
Sure.
You're like good because I don't know what's happening right now. Right? What does the direct variation formula look like?
Y equals k times
Y equals kx. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. If I solve this for k, what does it look like now?
Looks like y over x equals k.
Y over x equals k. So, if it's a direct variation, then I should be able to divide the numbers and always get the same number, right? So like on number, whatever it is number 25, if I do 12 divided by 4, I get 3. If I do 24 divided by 8, I get 3. If I do 48 divided by 16, I get 3. If I do 96 divided by 32, I get 3. So that one is direct, as a direct variation. This 26 What is the inverse variation? If I do the same thing, by the way, we just proved that that doesn't work. 2 divided by 8 is 1/4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Oh, we broke it. It's not direct. So then we can test if it's inverse, right? So, what's the inverse variation equation look like?
Y equals K over X.
Y equals K over X. If I solve that one for K, what do I do?
Multiply by X.
Multiply by X, and I end up with K equals X times Y, which tells us through the because of the commutative property, if it's inversely proportional, then it'll be both ways, right? Because X times K is X times Y is the same as Y times X, right? So, if they're an inverse variation, you should be able to multiply every ordered pair and you get the same number, the same proportionality, right? So 8 times 2 is 16, 4 times 4 is 16, negative 2 times negative 8 is 16, negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. And so it's inverse variation. But if we go to 27 and we do 4 divided by 2 is 2, 9 divided by 3 is 3, it's not direct, right? Because that first check didn't work. And then we start multiplying them. 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 9 is not 8. It's neither, right? Make sense? What other questions do we have?
What would those look like on a graph?
Huh?
What would these look like on a graph?
You'd have to plot it and see what happens.
But it wouldn't be like a consistent thing. They would be all
Well, the equation for the like 26 would be y equals 16 over x. What does that look like? It looks like this one.
You just did that, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I believe I remember that. That was
Which is why when I was trying to do the just doing numbers and thinking about it like it was linear, I was like going nuts. Right? Because it's not remotely linear. 25 is linear. What? 8. Yes, we can do 8. Number 8. If x varies directly as y, find x when y equals 8. Okay, great. X varies directly as y. And it tells us x equals 11 when y is negative 3.
Does it matter which side you put it
Yes.
Yeah.
For direct variation it does. For inverse it doesn't. We just proved that was true. But for direct it definitely does, right? So, what would k equal?
11 divided by 9.
Negative 11/3, right? And then it tells us to find x when y equals 8. So we put 8 right there, negative 11/3 right there. And what does x equal? Negative 88/3.
I just had a calculator error because that's what I did.
You definitely shouldn't do that with a calculator. You didn't need a calculator for that.
Well,
That was not a chastisement, it was an encouragement. I'm not yelling at you for using your calculator, I'm encouraging you that negative 11/3 is a totally acceptable answer for the k part. And then 11 times 8 is 88. That one you know. Yeah.
Isn't it because like
You'll make, and this is a thought for you specifically, and for everyone, because everyone does this, but we've talked about how you're doing this. If you will, instead of jumping to the calculator, if you will do it here first, you'll make not 0, but less negative mistakes. Not none. I know, double negatives, terrible, but you will make less. And and honestly, the problems will probably be easier, probably. Which is counterintuitive, because calculator is supposed to be the savior of our existence or something. I don't know.
yeah, that's what all the people are saying nowadays.
Yeah, that's what all the cool kids say. Any other questions on this lesson? I'm going to grab the coffee that I made, and then let's solve some rational equations and inequalities. We're going to use the tools that we already learned to get a number answer. It's going to be fun. Probably more than one number answer because factoring. You're the one. So the instructions say solve and check your solution.
That's probably true.
2 over x plus 3 halves equals 19/10. This is 8-6, solving rational equations and inequalities. Is that what y'all are whispering about back there?
I was debating which one you were doing. I was just doing the first one.
I didn't understand anything you just said, but I'm sure it was very good.
It's already solved.
All right. No, we need x equals a number, which we don't have. Okay, so the first step, number one step, is to murder the fractions. Okay, so in order to murder the fractions, we multiply everything times the common denominator.
Yeah.
So we would multiply everything times 10 times x plus 3. Let me pause and let you wrap your brains around what's going on. Why is that the common denominator?
Because 2 and 10 are like
10 is the least common multiple between 2 and 10. And then we have to have the x plus 3 because it's there, yes? Great. So, there it is. I found it. That feels better. Okay. So, when I multiply this times this first one, what all cancels? The 10 doesn't cancel. There's nothing down there with the 10. What cancels? X plus 3. So all we're multiplying times the 2 is 10. On this one, what cancels? The 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5 times. And then does it have the x plus 3? No. So we've also got to multiply times x plus 3.
Okay, I thought you said the opposite. My brain was like,
Oh.
why is it?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Now on the last one, 10 goes into 10 one time. So that just straight up cancels. And it's 19 times x plus 3.
distribute.
Then we distribute. We should. I agree. Two times 10 is 20. 15 times x is 15x. And 15 times 3 is 45. Yes. 19 times 3 would be 57.
Can you believe I did that in my head?
I can. Because I did it in my head. If I can do it in your head, you can do it in your head. Just to be clear, multiplying a 2-digit number times a 1-digit number is super easy to do in your head. You just do it backwards. So you do 3 times 10 is 30, plus 27 is 57. Yeah, that's how you do a 2-digit times a 1-digit in your head, is do it backwards from the normal way.
If you had 2 digits times 2 digits, would it just be faster? 'Cause you only
2 digits times 2-digit to do in your head, you FOIL. But I don't teach that unless I'm teaching number sense, and I don't teach in public school, so I'm not teaching any UIL events anymore. So, yeah, there it is. Great. Got some like terms. We can combine. I'm also going to subtract 19x from both sides, because why not? This is algebra 2. Negative 4x plus 65 equals 57. Two-step equations, easy money, minus 65, minus 65. Excuse me. which would equal what, 8? Negative 8. Negative 4x. Divide by negative 4. So x equals positive 2. So you have to check your solution at least by shoving it in the denominator, see if you get zeros. And you can go for a full check and do 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 2/5 plus 3/2, and you add it and you get 19/10, right? You can do a full check if you want to, and that's a good idea, that's a good practice. However, you have to at least make sure this doesn't end up being 0. Because if you do, then you're going to chuck that answer in the bin. And in this answer, the answer would be null set. There wouldn't be an answer except for a set of empty numbers that was empty. Okay?
That makes sense.
Easy money. Let's do another one. Let's start with this one.
Yes, I know what that one is.
I know, you're so brilliant.
Exactly.
So flippin' brilliant. I'm teaching a Grace class next semester. It was kind of a wild roller coaster because I was intending to put a class in, and then I forgot and missed the deadline, and then later realized that I had actually missed it by an entire day, but forgot and didn't put a class in. And then Rochelle got an email yesterday morning being like, oh no, and this is, I'm sure they sent this out to all the either Grace people or lead teachers or whatever. They were like, we lost a class. Can anybody do a science class? And so I was like, whatever. I can do this thing or that thing or whatever. And then so Rochelle sent a few things in that I could teach. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then like 30 minutes later, I get an email and like, we would like to do environmental systems, and I need a class description like right now because things is going to open up later. I was like, well, okay. So I got on Grok and had it type me out a thing and then send it to them. Well, I've edited it a little bit. It was. So I'm now teaching environmental systems. It's going to be fun. Yeah, well, you should take it environmental systems.
What period is it?
Silver, which is I think the middle one. I don't know. It still drives me bonkers.
Why isn't it just numbers?
So their reason why it's not just numbers is that some people come at the second period and they get confused because their first period is second period, which is stupid reason. The people that come second hour should just be like, I'm coming second hour. So now they have red hour, silver hour, and black hour.
Yeah, I don't understand what that means at all.
First period, second period, third period. Same difference.
Yeah, I don't remember those words.
I should factor this one. Right? How does it factor?
Z plus 1, Z minus 1.
Z plus 1, Z minus 1. Difference of squares.
Same as those other two.
Wow, it's almost like they planned it.
It's almost like. Not
So now we do the,
Now we destroy the fractions. We kill them.
so we multiply it by C plus 1 and C minus.
It'd be 2 times negative 1.
2 times Z minus 1
Why doesn't
minus 1 times Z plus 1 equals negative 2, right?
why doesn't it cancel whatever?
It cancels the Z minus 1, or Z plus 1, depending on which fraction you're talking about. And then we distribute. Two Z minus 2 minus Z minus 1 equals negative 2. Combine like terms.
Wouldn't it be plus 1?
Nope.
No, it would definitely not be +1.
Oh, I didn't distribute the negative.
Oh my goodness, girly pop. add 3.
Your hair is too magnificent. I can't see.
Especially with that cool mini scrunchie in it.
Sean, why did you change the -2 to a -1?
I don't know. I was wondering why this wasn't going to give the answer that was in the book.
That number has a shape-shifting superpower.
It does.
Weird correctness.
What's the answer?
1.
Yeah, but what's the answer?
Oh, it's a null set. Because
So why would it be the null set?
You tell me.
Z can't equal.
If I put a Z right here, or right here, in fact, what happens?
the world explodes.
It would be
0.
It'd be 0, and we can't do that. We can't have 0 in the denominator. True. Unless we're talking about limits and calculus, and then the answer is probably infinity. Let's do another one.
My notes are so chaotic. With practice, I'm not redoing.
Let's do 1 over p minus 2 minus 2p plus 1 over, it is equals p squared plus 2p minus 8 plus 2 over p plus 4. Did you just say what? Is that what you said?
I put the 8 in the wrong spot.
Okay, what should we do?
Factor.
Yeah, we should definitely factor. P and 4 and 2 and minus and plus. Wow. Did you say you have a question? Do you still have that question?
No.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be p plus 4 equals 2p plus 1 plus 2p minus 4.
Did you skip something?
Yeah, I did. What did I skip? What did I do?
Why did you skip it, Sean?
Because push your brains a little. It's good for you.
What
You
did
already
I just
factored
cancel?
it.
Distribute it, not factored, but yes, what you meant, I did. I did 2 times p minus 2. Right? And 1 times p plus 4 is just 1 plus times is p plus 4. That one's easy. Yeah, that one you can do in your head without having to think hard about it, I hope. The other one, go ahead, write the intermediate step. It's fine. Just giving you practice for next year, because in pre-calculus, I do that kind of stuff all the time.
Bet everyone's annoyed with you.
Do you have to go back?
Not
and
usually.
explain it, or is it just-
Not this year, but sometimes I do. Actually, you'd be surprised. And for those of you who end up taking pre-calculus, you'll be surprised how smart you feel. Because you know a lot of math by then. And you can do a lot of things. All right, let's see what to do now. How about combine like terms? I love it. Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
No.
Stop it. P plus 4 equals 4p minus 3.
No, we're gonna get a fraction as an answer. I think we're gonna die.
disastrous. So negative 3p equals positive, no, lies, negative 7. Divide both sides by negative 3.
Yeah, somebody said that. I heard it.
P equals 7/3. We put it in here, it works. We put it in here, it works. And if it works for those, it's going to work for that.
And if it's not negative?
No, because negative divided by negative is positive.
Yep.
Yerp. Hello? Citibank, but it's probably not actually Citibank. Maybe it is. Hello? It is. I'm doing fine. How about yourself? Mm-hmm. Yes. We could probably do it this afternoon or something at some point. How late? How long? What during weekdays? How late are y'all open? Okay. Which location are you at? Okay, perfect. That's great. That's perfect. 82nd and Quaker, and we come by that sometime this afternoon. Awesome. Thank you. You too. Bye. It was Citibank for reals. I didn't know it makes sense because it's a business card. We're gonna do guided practice 3 on bottom of page 572. How much of a 65% fruit juice, excuse me, how much of a 65% fruit juice solution must Justin add to 15 milliliters of a drink that is 10% fruit juice to create fruit punch that is 35% fruit juice? Yeah, that one. I'm sorry. There's so much distraction happening in my brain right now. I will spin around and de-soapbox anything. Okay, continuing. Because we don't want to spend all our time listening to a soapbox about idiots. Because there are too many of those in the world.
Are you calling us idiots?
No, I'm not.
Lying.
No, you didn't even know which group of people were the idiots.
Well, that's what I was asking, if it was us.
If I was calling you an idiot and I was saying it out loud, I would have done it and explained why. You know me better than that. Yeah. All right, so what should we do?
Write all our given things down. So we're less confused.
That's probably smart. How much of a 65% fruit juice solution? I hate these problems. I hate them in chemistry and I hate them in math. But we got this. We can do it.
What are the letters called at the end of numbers?
The letters called at the end of numbers?
I can't.
Oh, units.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so
I was trying to think of it too, and I was like,
we've got a Dumi-Flaci here that is 65% fruit juice. And then we've got, oh, that's why, okay, yeah. I thought this was gonna be a system, but it does give us good things, yes?
Yeah.
We wanna know how much of this one do we gotta get added. If we're doing 15 milliliters of a what percent? 10% fruit juice solution. It always cracks me. When I worked at Drum Ghouls, we had like Minute Maid lemonade. Drum Ghouls doesn't exist anymore. It was great. But when I worked there, we had a like drink fountain and we had Minute Maid lemonade. It always cracked me up when I would go to the thing because it says contains 0% juice. Like, okay, that's exciting. Anyway, juice, and we want to put those together to make something that is 35% fruit juice.
So we have to figure out how many amounts are in the top one.
We need to figure out how many. We need to figure out this milliliters
Yeah.
to mix it together to make this, right?
Can we convert the things into?
We're gonna yes. Well, I'm gonna do a decimal, but yeah. We definitely should do that. That's easy, right? We know we need to start with that. That's absolutely true. This problem type, and this is why I hate these problems, because they're not actually even very hard. But I taught it wrong in Algebra 1, and people were confused, and they frustrate. And so these problems frustrate me because I always have to think too hard to make them work, but they're easy. This is a weighted average problem, is really what it is. And I'm going to teach it that way to you. So to find a weighted average, to calculate your, let's do a mini problem over here. If you want to know your grade in my class, you have to do a weighted average. How much what are the grade categories in the grade book?
Test, quiz,
Tests,
homework, notes.
quizzes. I never can remember whether that's 2 Z's or 1. I don't know. Quizzes,
Quizzical.
homework, notes, and notebook.
Oh, do you do notebook quiz?
Except I don't know that I have a notebook grade anymore. Do I have a notebook grade anymore in the grade book? I don't
I
know.
haven't done it this year.
Who knows? Probably not. Yeah, no, it's just homework and notes, right? Let's find out. So in case you want to actually use this to find out your grade, you can do it right.
It actually shows you.
It shows, oh, the percentages, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
It tells you your overall percentage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it does? Look at that. See, it even tells you. People are dumb. What's my grade? Go look! Not dumb. That's lies. They're ignorant, which is not the same thing. All of us are, that isn't even that in that case, but like,
It only gives you your grade for the last.
if you know and don't do it, then you are foolish or dumb. But if you just don't know, you're ignorant.
I'm pretty sure just.
Ignorant is solvable. Dumb isn't. How do I do this on this thing? Oh. Oh my gosh. No, it's all 3. It is a notebook grade. There is a notebook grade. Or there was last year. Is there this year?
No.
Does it show a notebook grade? What do you got there, kid? Let me see your grades. Look at that. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Yeah, see, I was right. Yeah, there is a notebook grade. Okay, those are the grades. Right? Each one of these is 10% of your grade.
Yeah.
So how many do we have left?
2.
2 things, but how much percent?
70.
70%. So if these are equal, how much are these worth in your grade book? 35%. You kind of cheated, but it's fine.
Hey, I have it.
Great. So let's say that Beauregard's test average is a 73. And his quiz average is a 46.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Beauregard, what are you
And he's got hundreds in all of these because his mom did it for him. Great. Now,
Doing good.
when I say normally, find the average of these three numbers, what do you do? Like normally, not this problem, but add it up, divide by 3. That is not how you find the average with this, because this is a weighted average. They count different amounts. So how do we find a weighted average?
Multiply them.
Add them up, divide.
So 35% times 73 plus 35% times 46 plus 10% times 100 plus 10% times 100 plus 10% times 100. So what does Beauregard have in this class?
I don't know.
You have a calculator.
Can't do it.
And then what do we do after we have all this?
Push enter.
After we have all the
Oh, just
So we just
71.65.
that
71.65. So he is gonna barely pass.
I don't know how he did it.
He's struggling a little bit, but he barely passed. This is the same as this. Okay? And with a proportion here. Okay?
It just looks a little messy.
It just looks a little crazy. So let's do it just like they did the example, because I think that's going to be clear. Or let's build us a little table of what we're doing. Let's organize our information. So we have a total solution. We'll even use that word because chemistry. Which is the fruit punch, yeah? That's what we're trying to make. Make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. So, we also have fruit juice that we're adding. We only care about the amount of fruit juice, so we don't care about what else is in it. Chemicals. Everything is chemicals. Natural flavors. Natural flavors is a scary food label, because that can be so many things. Like, what the heck is that? You know what else is a stupid food label? Natural, because that can mean like anything. We could rebrand Coca-Cola and write natural on it. It doesn't mean anything.
Also, zero sugar added is really kind of deceptive.
Zero sugar added can be kind of deceptive,
They have something worse than sugar.
which actually isn't dangerous. That's not true. It's been proven and twice proven and thrice. And aspartame is not. The amount of aspartame you would have to consume in order for it to actually hurt you is astronomical. Aspartame is not bad for you.
It just doesn't taste as good as real sugar.
I agree with that. So we started with 15 milliliters of a 10% solution. So where we started was with 10% times 15, right? 10% of that 15 milliliters is that. That's where we started. What we're adding is we're adding 65% of something, some amount. We don't know the amount, right? So, how much would we end up with in the end?
35% times x plus 15.
We're not there yet. We're not even using the 35%. We have this plus this, right?
That plus that, yeah.
Right? That's a 0.1. I know it looks terrible. Fruit punch. How much fruit punch is in this one?
1.5 milliliters.
15 milliliters. How much are we at? How much liquid are we adding?
The start is milliliters. So it would be 15.
That's what I said. How much are we adding?
We're adding
Oh.
I wrote 15. I wrote 50. That's what's on there. We're adding X. And we're ending up with how much?
30.
15 plus X. Right?
Now we have to solve for X.
Yeah. We gotta set, where's the face? Is there something you misunderstand with that's on the board currently? Okay, are you sure? Like, I'm not asking whether you know where to go now. I'm asking, do you understand what's been written now? Not total fruit juice, total fruit punch. That's where your confusion is. Does that answer your piece? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Do you understand what's on the board? Does everybody else understand what's on the board? Does your mom or whoever you're texting understand what's on the board? Okay, good.
It's actually my mother.
Is that really? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, great. Making sense so far? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy?
Yeah.
Great. So, let's make a proportion. This is why this is in this unit.
Do we set those two?
So, here's our proportion. You ready? Percent of the thing. To the 100%, right?
Yeah.
Equals the amount of juice to, that says fruit jute. Okay. The amount of juice to the total solution, right? I'll wait to say right until I get it up here and move out of the way.
Left.
This is how we do percents. The percent over 100 equals the amount of the juice over the total thing. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
This is the fruit jute. This is the total. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
How we do it?
Good.
So we put
I'm gonna erase Beauregard's grade so I have room and don't have to bend over horrifically. What percentage are we looking for in the end?
100.
35.
35.
Ha, I picked
Oh,
juice,
at the
but
end.
it's-
Yeah, for the juice. Yeah, 35% of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
You-
okay.
What's going to be over here?
0.1 times 15 times 40.
Plus.
Oh, plus. Algebra. That's
What's going to be here?
15%.
Now we do some algebra. What are we going to do? Oh, that was almost disastrous. What are we going to do?
Multiply
Sure, multiply by what?
by
So we could cross multiply and do all that stuff, or we could think about this like we've been thinking about all these problems. We're going to multiply everything times the common denominator, right? Which is the same, which would work out the same in this particular problem as just cross multiplying, right? You can end up with the same thing. But to keep our brains in a good space, we can do it this way. So on the left side, what are we going to have?
35
35 times 15 plus x equals
10
1.5 times 100
I make it 1.5.
plus 65x.
I answered my own question.
Good. 0.1 times 15 is 1.5, and then times 100, which is going to be moving the decimal point a few more times. What's 35 times 15?
35 times 15?
True. $525 plus x equals 150. No, too many, right? Did I go too far? 1, 2, yeah, that, right? Plus 65x. Now what?
Subtract x and subtract 150.
Sounds good. What's 525 minus 150?
375.
And then divide by 64.
New decimal number.
X is going to be about how many?
About
375 over 64.
Well, we want, that's in this particular, so typically, I love that, that's great. However, in a word problem like this, we do want the decimal something, right? So,
5.9 or 6.
what? 12.9 or 6?
5.9.
5.9. What's?
Milliliters.
Milliliters.
You know what's unfortunate
We got it wrong?
is we got it wrong.
I knew it. Because I did it a different way and I got a different answer.
What'd you get?
I got 12.5.
Okay, what did you do different then?
I kind of skipped a couple.
You're gonna have to like explain clearly what'd you do.
Okay, so I did
Where did,
0.65 times x plus 0.1 times 15 equals 0.35 times the quantity of 15 plus x.
okay, so I don't know where we made a mistake, but you didn't do any, like the setup isn't any different. We just made a mistake somewhere. You wrote this as a decimal, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. And I,
Is that, no, I need either that's what you did or that's not what you did.
that is what I
Like the 100 was there or the 100 wasn't there.
100 was not.
Okay, great, because that would make a difference, right?
And I
So,
already have the 15 plus x there.
5 times 15 plus x equals 1.5 plus 0.65 x. This is you. Yes? You didn't have 1500 and all the other things, right?
No.
I don't know where we made a mistake. Because this is going to do the same thing. Yes? It's not any different. So that means we made a mistake somewhere.
You didn't, you just did 35 times 15. You didn't do 35 times x as well. Because it would all be.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh,
You're right. You're right. That should be 35. This should be 35. X. Yep. Which would mean this would be 35. And this would be, yeah. Yep. I didn't distribute. See, that's why you shouldn't skip steps. Which would make this, what, 30? And you get approximately 12.5 milliliters. Great, grand, glorious. Homework. I think, right? Is there anything dire that we're missing? Not really. I have said this before many times, and I will say it again because it is definitely still true. The test shall be on Thursday, so a week from today.
No, it's today, right now.
Page 577, numbers 16 through 34, evens.
One day you should just be weird and maybe just do the odds instead of evens.
That wouldn't be any fun,
Why not?
because then you could just look at the answers instead of my charming voice reading them to you.
Oh, it was a plot to cheat.
Are all of the odd ones?
People would be tempted to just like look at the answers and like not think, and I don't like that. What?
Do all of the odd ones?
I think it's got all the odd answers in the back. I think.
I thought it was just the ones that were green.
The green ones have a full walkthrough. Yeah, so they basically have a photo math for your context. What? Why is there a duck in your clothes?
But they have a virus, so we're taking care of it. But it's
Where did you pull that from? Your jacket. I see.
nesting in her
That's funny.
It likes
It likes to
the pocket. It
pocket.
also likes up in her neck. It just fell down the side of her jacket.
That's silly.